Hey, I'm Agamaroth. Welcome to my channel. I'm a long-time player for Untitled Avengers, and I want to make video breakdowns and guides for each of the characters. This will be my first one, so apologies for the audio, but jumping right into it. Today I'll go over Sally, her skills, pros and cons, where she's useful. So first up, her skills. Her first skill, Swarms, deals 180% attack damage to 4 random enemies, decreasing their armor by 30% for 3 rounds, up to 250% attack at level 3. This is useful in many areas of the game and ensures Sally is always contributing. Skill 2, Extrema Hunger. Worm attack returns 30% HP of attack damage to Sally up to 40% at level 3. This is what makes Sally so durable later on, combined with her working mechanic, which I'll touch on next. Skill 3, Swarm Strike. When Sally releases the swarm, she creates 4 worms at the end of the round. The worm attacks randomly and deals 60% attack damage up to 80% at level 3, with an increase to 5 worms. This is Sally's bread and butter. Every time she casts her ultimate, she's spawning worms at the end of every round. Worms are unleashed, healing her and dealing big damage. In a long fight, she can have a crazy amount of worms, making her a valuable asset. Especially when combined with skill 4, Armor Erosion. Enemy attacked by worms have their armor reduced by 8% for 3 rounds, up to 12% at level 3. So basically what this means is that at the end of every round, Sally's dealing huge damage, especially like in the later rounds of the fights. And she's got an amazing skin there as well, which adds stats if you got money to splash out for that if they ever bring back the event. But yeah. Right now we're looking at the guide screen for Sally, showing recommended talents and artifacts. These are okay for beginners, but I'll lay out some other options too in just a bit. So as you can see, recommended artifact is Arbiter of Fate or Misanthropy. Misanthropy you're not going to really realistically get, it costs $500, yeah. So as you can see, I've got Master of Tactics on mine, as I want her to be a bit tankier, placing her in the front line quite often. On Sally, Titan Kill is better than Weakness Aimer, as she cuts armor by herself anyway. In terms of Mythic 1 talents, Blade Slash, I mean, you can go with any Mythic 1 talent, really, but DPS is probably best. Mythic 3 talents, I'm running Ghost Curse, however, Overprotection and Concentration are also excellent choices for Sally. Mythic 4, you can really go with anything here, just depending on your situation, just change it up as needed. And lastly, Mythic 5 talents, you probably just want to go with Gaze of Death. There's not really any point to any of the other ones for most DPS characters. I'll go over them if there is on other characters, but here, just Gaze of Death. So one last thing I want to quickly go over is Sally's unique equipment, which is pretty important. So just popping in here. There she is. Yep. And exclusive equipment. So the Mother of Swarms exclusive increases her HP by 48%, attack by 48%, and broken arm by 15% at max level. And it reduces the damage that she receives, making her a much better tank. And if you get it all the way to level 30, it creates 2 extra worms at the beginning of the battle, which is pretty damn good, but honestly, level 30 exclusive equipment is pretty hard to come by unless you're playing the game for a very long time, so look at the 20 bonuses when you're going for exclusive equipment. Just going to quickly demonstrate how Sally works in action here. Yeah, and we'll go over the pros and cons of Sally on screen while we do that. Cheers! Alright, so pros. She's got excellent sustained damage, and the longer the battle goes on, the more damage she's doing. Armor reduction, we've gone over this quite a bit already, but yeah, just reducing that armor, making all your allies deal more damage to the enemy is always a good time. She's an excellent tank with lots of damage reduction, good armor, and most importantly, self-sustain. She's got excellent sustain and solo capabilities, so even when a whole bunch of your other units are dead, if you've got a strong Sally, she might be able to carry you through a lot of different, like, difficult levels and things. Yeah. Good base armor, I already mentioned that, but it's actually quite important, considering later on you're probably going to want to put her in your front line, and yeah, she's just really good. And the most important thing is she's versatile, right? Like you can use her just about anywhere in the game, and she's gonna be a good pick for your team. What are her cons? Well, she's lacking in burst damage. That does make her quite difficult to use in arena later on, but she's still got a place in a lot of teams. She's absolutely, completely, utterly outclassed by Logan. He does everything Sally does, but way better. Unfortunately, you can't really farm Logan at the moment, so Sally's probably going to have a spot for quite a while longer, especially on newer players' teams. She's got pretty low base attack and pretty low base HP. Biggest downfall. Um, so people like Rex and Lara and a lot of other heavy hitters can take her out quite easily with her low base attack and HP rather, and her low base attack means that later on it'll be harder for her to get her little ball rolling. So when is Sally good? Well, she's really good pretty much all of the time, but she does fall off in the later game, which I would say is X-War 28 and onwards. Um, just for a point of reference, because you could split the late game into late game and then hyper late game, but we won't go down that rabbit hole just yet. Where should I use Sally? X-War, Galaxy Wanted, Arena, especially earlier on, Time Travel, Faction Wanted. She's just useful just about everywhere. And it's great because she's also really easy to obtain. You can obtain her through arena medals, you can obtain her through a lot of the beginner packs. There's all sorts of ways the game will throw copies of Sally at you. So you can get her maxed out pretty early on if you want. But yeah, good investment. Not maybe super long term, but like she'll see you right for a very long time. Anyway, that about wraps up my thoughts on Sally. Let you guys know. Let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like this and what characters you want to see broken down next. Cheers. Peace out.